What's up, Screen Junkies fans? My name is Tyler Corelli. I was just recently kind of inspired by the fan submission contest on movie fights to just post a video every week after the movie fights rounds and just kind of voice my opinions a little bit. Uh, I mean, when I watch it, and who doesn't, I pretty much scream at the TV at the choices that I think they should have picked. So this is just my little first go at this. I've never really made YouTube videos before. I've always wanted to, so here it is. Here is my first pick. For if I had to recast Wolverine, I probably would have went with what Brian went with, and that was don't recast Wolverine. But if I absolutely had to, I would probably go with Joe Manganiello. He's been in not that much stuff, and I feel like he shows potential. I think he could have been a better Batman than Affleck, but we don't know how Ben is going to be yet. But I think he's just got the right structure, the right grittiness that I think he could bring to Wolverine. If I had to recast him again, I probably wouldn't. I think Tom Hardy's just in too much stuff right now that I wouldn't want to see him do that, and I think the kid from Kingsman was great, but I don't think he has that grittiness that Wolverine needs. And I think, although a little bit tall, Joe Manganiello could really do a bang-up job as Wolverine. My choice for movie cinematic universe is kind of an oddball choice because I know a lot of people have been giving it hate lately, but I'm going to have to go with my boss here, and I definitely think that Tangled and Frozen should have a crossover with they're making a new movie with a Hawaiian princess that I believe The Rock is going to be in, so that would be cool. Disney has already been hinting at this for years, but they just don't seem to be doing anything with it, because you see in the first few minutes of Frozen, Flynn and Rapunzel show up, and personally I want to see more Rapunzel because I personally loved Tangled, and I think Frozen 2 might be a little bit of a stretch because I know that Frozen Fever before Cinderella was a little bit of a stretch, so I think if they combine their little universes there, it might actually work for a feature-length film. So that's my choice for cinematic universe. I think Smash Brothers is a great choice, but that's kind of already Wreck-It Ralph. I'm surprised nobody really brought that up, but I give it to them. That would be pretty awesome. And Pokemon I haven't really been that big of a fan of recently, and I think their movies are already their own cinematic universe. No need to rehash at that. And Mission Impossible, those are the kind of movies that, like, I love them when they come out, but I don't really think about them until they come out again. So I really wouldn't want to see Ving Rhames doing his own thing. That's kind of weird. But yeah, no, that's my choice. Disney Cinematic Universe. I think that could be great and would probably bring in a lot of money. Okay, so if I had to cast anyone in the Fast and the Furious franchise, I think I would go with Ryan Gosling. His character in Drive, if they could translate that into the Fast and the Furious, would I think be the coolest thing ever. Because like Ludacris and Tyrese, they already have their going back and forth chemistry. Vin Diesel is just a big brooding type. The Rock is also just that big person that does like the funny one-liners. Like I love the cast now, but I think Evan Peters would pretty much just fill Han's spot. And I think that Burt Reynolds would be awesome. I think they could put him with Kurt Russell up there somewhere when maybe one day they'll actually take the field and drive around. And I think the Stone Cold Steve Austin shouldn't be acting anymore because he tried that a few times and it just did not work. Yeah, but Ryan Gosling, I think, could be the cool, calm, collective type that really keeps to himself, that when he needs to be put in action, he, like, proves himself, like, incredibly where everyone just jaw drops. And, yeah, I think that would work perfectly for the Fast and the Furious. Okay, so for my choice for best action sequel, it's not a choice that a lot of people pick, but it's one of my personal favorites, and I really think it can hold its own in a sequel battle. Personally, it's not Terminator 2, it's not Aliens, and it's not The Raid 2, although I love all three of those movies. I'm going to go with Predator 2. I know it's kind of an odd choice, but Predator 2 does something that a lot of sequels don't do. It kind of changes things up. It goes from the jungle to the concrete jungle, and you want to see more Predator, so that's what they give you. They give you more of the Predator. And I just love the fact that he's killing drug dealers, so you're kind of rooting for the Predator, but at the same time you're not rooting for the Predator because he's going after Danny Glover. And I love the fact that he kills Danny Glover's partner to invoke a response from him, and I just think that's genius. We get Gary Busey in his prime, and I love that. And Bill Paxton is in this, and he's pretty funny in it. I like the fact that the sequel gives you more of what you want, and that's the Predator. We kind of find out a little bit more about it, and it's got one of the best Easter eggs in it. It has the alien skull in the background of the Predator ship, so that kind of spawned its own thing. And I don't know, I just love Predator too, so that's my choice for best action sequel. I know a lot of people are going to be giving me shit about that, but hey, my opinion. Okay, so my choice for best James Bond movie, I'm going to have to go with Die Another Day. This is another personal choice, but it's kind of because this was my James Bond movie, like, as I was growing up. Uh, Pierce Brosnan, I think, is one of my favorite James Bonds, and I know that's like a debated topic, but I think he was pretty suave. Halle Berry was really hot in it, um, and I just love the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish. That was like the coolest looking car when I was younger. The whole ice battle scene was cool at the end, and this was also one of the first movies that we got to see Rosamund Pike in from Gone Girl. Yeah, so this was easily one of my favorite Bond movies, but Bond movies, everyone has their own favorite, and it's so hard to pick, so I can't really come up with a battle to debunk all these other ones, because, like, Skyfall is great, Casino Royale is great, every Bond has their best Bond films, so I can't pick one, but if I had to, I'm going to go with Die Another Day, just because that's the one I've watched the most in my lifetime, so that's why I picked Die Another Day. If I had to punch one celebrity in the face, I couldn't personally do it. I would have my friend do it, because she's a girl. I would have her punch Kat Dennings in the face, because she is my absolute least favorite part of Thor 1 and 2. Her one-liners are enough to make me cringe, and she is mainly the reason why I hate those movies. I literally eye roll every time she comes on the screen. I just think she's annoying, and I can't stand her, and I don't think she's funny at all. I think Orlando Bloom was not the worst part of the Hobbit movies, and if anything, I would just punch him for leaving his wife, Miranda Kerr, because she was a pretty hot Victoria's Secret model. Kristen Stewart, I think she's already been punched in the face from the looks of her. And as much as I would want to punch Johnny Depp in the face, he does have a few recent roles that I do like. Sweeney Todd was like 6 or 7 years ago now, but it was still pretty good. And at least he has fun in the parts. Kat Denning is just, oh my god, she's just awful. I can't. I'm so glad they didn't put her in the Avengers. I really hope she's not in Age of Ultron. Finally, my pick for worst casting choice. I'm going to have to go with Mika on this one. It has to be Hayden Christensen. I can't really pick Topher Grace as Eddie Brock because we've never seen Eddie Brock on screen like that before. So we didn't have an expectation, and they could have. His character was clearly not the character in the books of this huge weightlifting. He was kind of like the opposite of Peter Parker, which I think they were going for. So everything in that movie was awful. But I don't think Topher Grace was miscast. I just think that whole movie was bad because if that was the part they wrote and they had Topher Grace play it and they had a jacked guy play his part, you would have just thought Eddie Brock was a whiny jacked guy. So I think for what they wanted, that was pretty much perfect. And Robin Hood, I don't think anyone really plays that part well. But yeah, Hayden Christensen had such big shoes to fill. He had to be menacing, and his acting was off. Like, Ewan McGregor did the best he could with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Honestly, there were a few glimpses of hope in the 3 prequels, but Hayden Christensen was just a whiny, and he kind of pretty much ruined Darth Vader and his image that we all had of him from day one. So I just think Hayden Christensen was absolutely awful. But yeah, that was such a letdown. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, so those are my thoughts on this week's movie fights. Tony, Brian, Mika, they all did a pretty great job defending what they believed in. And I thought that was pretty incredible. So, yeah, if you guys, I'm going to be trying to do these videos at least once a week. Subscribe, like, whatever, however that works. Follow me on Twitter. All that stuff's in the bio below. I've, again, never done YouTube videos before, so this feels kind of weird to even say. But I hope you guys liked the video. Feel free to comment anything you thought. And, yeah, see you later.